All right, Senator Eric Schmitt joins us now from Washington. Good to see you, sir. So I want to start off here. It sounds like some colleagues of yours on the other side, Chris Murphy, some other senators, we know they met with Zelensky before this big meeting on Friday that he had with the president. And Murphy even tweeted out that Zelensky was not going to accept some kind of a fake peace agreement. Do you think that this meeting was sabotaged by senators on the Democrat side?
You know, I don't know. I wasn't there. I wouldn't want to assume that, but clearly something went terribly wrong in the Oval Office because President Trump campaigned on bringing the peace. Zelensky wanted this meeting. He had been complaining for 3 weeks about things. He actually wanted the White House meeting, and all he had to do literally was go there, put a suit on, smile, say thank you, and have lunch and sign the deal. That was it. Like, this is sort of this was a very easy thing for him to be able to do, and presumably everybody knew what was going to happen that day. But something happened on the way to that formality, and he just was disrespectful, never said thank you, and became very combative in the Oval Office. And President Trump, Vice President Vance, and the cabinet, I think, made the decision to get him out. And so yeah. I think it raises, Rob, now, importantly now, really important questions on whether or not we can deal with this guy, because the American people and our president are interested in peace, not a forever war, and certainly not a blank check from the United States. So sure. I don't know where his head's at, but he needs to figure it out pretty quickly, or even if he's the right guy for it.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we've there's speculation out there that perhaps some Obama people, some Biden people have been in his ear as well, and we know that there's a history there that when Trump came in, we know there was a lot of subversion of Trump's will and foreign policy being done by people like John Kerry. So that would kind of track that there might be, and then it comes into a whole Logan Act conversation as well, because if you have like the ex-administration or people that aren't in power trying to subvert the work that's being done here and continue a war, I mean these are like, that's almost like a treasonous type of allegation if that's happening.
Well, I can tell you, so I went over to Munich when J.D. Vance gave the speech. I was one of like 3 people that was standing up and clapping for his free speech in Munich. But I went there as sort of a America First Republican to deliver a message to the European folks who are there. Look, we're no longer going to subsidize your welfare states anymore. You need to step up, provide more for your own defense, because we got to worry about the homeland and we got to focus on the Indo-Pacific and China. So this partnership is out of balance. You need to pay up. And that message was delivered. But I can tell you that among the sort of globalist elites that are assembled there, all the chattering class, they resent the fact that President Trump won. They resent the fact that this is a departure from the order they've established post-Cold War, because President Trump's ushering in a new era of realism where our interests reign supreme. He's not interested in forever wars, and we've got to, again, really pivot to Asia in a much more meaningful way. So This is a shock to the sort of establishment system, but this is where we're at, and it's the center of gravity in the United States.
Well, we've had such tremendous wealth and at the same time such weak leadership that we've just given ourselves away for such a long time in this country, and that's why it's so jarring when you finally have a leader that actually cares about the bottom line and cares about a fair deal. We've never had that before. So when he starts pulling things and making these deals fair, they all freak out, and you're seeing that now. And now you've got European leaders. You have Zelensky meeting with European leaders saying that they're going to step up, and that the EU is going to here's from the New York Times, who will join Europe's coalition of the willing to help Ukraine. And you've got UK talking big, but at the end of the day, I just wonder what they're going to be able to really put together without the U.S. backing. If we say we're done, are they really going to finance this thing, a forever war in Eastern Europe?
Well, but here's the thing, Rob. Even more than just the money, you can't have this is about munitions, right? Yeah. This isn't just about their percentage of GDP, because for a long time they've inflated those numbers by just putting it into pensions, right? Or administrative jobs. You need war-fighting weapon systems that Europe, quite frankly, can't produce because they're deindustrialization. So ironically, the same globalists who ship those jobs, including here in many ways, those jobs to other places, can't actually produce the stuff that they're clamoring for now. That deindustrialization that happened in including most recently in Germany, they're not capable of it. And so we need to reinvigorate our industrial base. But here's the truth. If you believe in scarcity like I do and any rational person, United States can't be everywhere all at once all the time. And if you're producing tanks for a land war in Europe, you are making a conscious decision not to have enough long-range fires for the Indo-Pacific. So we're prioritizing here that requires Europe to do the same, and they need to rebuild their industrial base and have their own military as well. So again, this partnership's out of balance. It's a shock to the system, but Europe can't pull this off. They're talking tough, but the truth is President Trump is the only person on the planet, Rob, who can deliver peace. And the sooner people realize that and get over their Trump derangement syndrome, we'll all be better for it.
And they all realize this is an unwinnable war as well, as is the other truth that nobody wants to admit, but is completely true. Senator, good to see you, sir.
It's a meat grinder. Sadly, it's a meat grinder. That's right, Rob. Yep.
That's
Take
exactly
care.
right. Good to see you, Senator. Thank you.